Here are 6 things that I look for in every apprentice electrician as a foreman. Now, this video isn't meant to be an exhaustive list of all of the traits that I think that make up a good apprentice, but I would argue that these are some of the most important. The first thing that I want to see in every apprentice electrician is that they take initiative. This might actually be the #1 thing that sets apart a good apprentice from a bad apprentice. Taking initiative can mean a lot of different things, but a good way to think about it is to work like your boss is always watching you. For example, if your journeyman has to go to the restroom, rather than just standing around on your phone and waiting for him to come back, try to take some initiative and find something that needs to be done. You can organize your tool cart, make a list of material that you need to grab next time you go to the laydown, or, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for even suggesting this forbidden task, maybe pick up a broom and clean up the area that you're working in. If there's 10 minutes left at the end of the day and you're completely finished with your task, maybe take some time and do some planning for the next day, or just find some way to stay productive. Like I said, there are a lot of different ways that you can take initiative as an apprentice, and if this is something that you are consistently striving to do, then you are really going to stand out. As a foreman, it's really easy to see which apprentices choose to take initiative and which ones don't by simply observing which apprentices choose to do different tasks like take out the trash without being asked, or just try to stay busy while the other apprentices are just standing around. The second thing that I look for in every apprentice is the ability to anticipate what's next. Here's what I mean by this. If your journeyman is running 1-inch EMT and you can see that they're getting ready to make a cut with a portaband, anticipate what they're going to need next by grabbing your conduit reamer and a 1-inch coupling and handing it to them before they even ask. Always be aware of what your journeyman is doing and always be anticipating what's coming next. And this goes for yourself too. If you know that you're going to be spending the entire day trimming out devices, then at the beginning of your day, spend some time putting together a list of all of the different devices and cover plates and material that you're going to need to get that done, and bring everything with you when you first go to the place that you're working on the job site. Taking a little bit of time at the front end of your day to make a list and come up with a plan can save a lot of time on the back end and really make you a much more efficient apprentice. Not only is this going to make you seem more competent, but this is also going to give off the impression that you really care about not wasting time. They say that failing to plan is planning to fail, and if you're not constantly trying to anticipate what's coming next, you're really just setting yourself up for failure. Number 3 on this list is having a positive attitude. Now, I know this seems very generic and like something that I shouldn't even need to mention on this list, but I promise you, as an apprentice, this is much more important than you think. The fact of the matter is that if you have all of the other traits that make up a good apprentice, but you lack a good attitude, you're not gonna last very long. In fact, we've actually let go of apprentices for this very reason. Anybody can learn the skills over time that are necessary to be a good electrician, but having a positive attitude is a choice. And regardless of your skill level, having a positive attitude is going to make you much more teachable and also much more enjoyable to work around. In fact, me and one of the other foremen on the job site that I'm working on were just talking the other day, and he was telling me that one of the most important traits that he looks for in apprentices is a positive attitude. He straight up just said that if he has an apprentice that consistently has a poor attitude, he won't hesitate to find a replacement. If you show up to work every day with your game face on and you're not constantly complaining about everything, and if you seem like you genuinely want to be there and you're enjoyable to work around, it's gonna go a long way for you. Real quickly, if you're enjoying this video, make sure that you smash the like button, and if you can see yourself benefiting from more content like this from me in the future, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel with the notification bell turned on. That way you can see every time that I release a new video. The 4th thing that I look for in apprentice electricians as a foreman is reliability. This is pretty much synonymous with dependability, and it's absolutely crucial that you're both of these things as an apprentice. Even if you have all the other traits of a good apprentice, including a positive attitude, but you're not reliable, when it comes time to start downsizing, you're probably going to be one of the first apprentices to go. Reliability means consistently showing up, both literally and figuratively. If you're always showing up late in the morning or consistently missing work, then your crew just isn't going to be able to rely on you. A few ways that you can demonstrate reliability as an apprentice are really pretty simple and straightforward. Just things like showing up every day on time, not taking too much time off, and maybe even volunteering yourself for different tasks or shifts that other people don't want to do. Now hear me out, I am not saying that you can't ever take time off and enjoy your life, because at the end of the day, work is work and life is your life. I'm just saying, make an effort to show that you want to be reliable. A reliable apprentice is a huge asset to their journeyman, their foreman, and ultimately the entire job. If you're not reliable, then there's not going to be much of a reason to keep you around. But on the flip side, if you're somebody who is very reliable, then it's going to go a long way for you, and you're probably going to end up being one of the last apprentices on the job. Number 5 is having the ability to problem solve. Now, as an apprentice, and especially if you're an earlier term apprentice, it will be understandable if you don't quite know how to troubleshoot things yet, because you're still learning. Still, having the ability to problem solve means that you are contributing to, or at least making an attempt to, solve whatever problem is before you. One thing that I was always taught to do, and something that I really appreciate when my apprentices and journeymen do, is this. Whenever you're presented with a problem, rather than just simply asking your journeyman or foreman what you should do, present your question with a list of possible solutions. As a foreman, I'm constantly running around, solving problems, answering questions, and checking on different things. So when somebody comes to me with a problem and also presents a list of potential solutions, it makes my job a lot easier when I don't have to take all of the time myself to figure out a solution to the problem. Now let me be clear, I do completely understand that as a foreman, it's my job to be able to solve problems and find answers to questions. However, I'm just saying that this is something that is very much appreciated, as it can definitely save me some time out of my day, and it really just demonstrates that whoever's presenting the question, whether it be an apprentice or a journeyman, really spent some time into thinking about this rather than just completely relying on me for the answer. There's not a lot of apprentices or even journeymen that do this very often. So whenever somebody does, it's very much appreciated and it doesn't go unnoticed. And it really makes them stand out. So being able to problem solve, or at least making an attempt to, is really going to go a long way for you. Last, but certainly not least on the list, is having a good work ethic. Now, I know this is another one that sounds pretty generic and probably like I don't really need to mention it, but I promise you it is very important. Some things that come to mind when demonstrating having a good work ethic are things like working at a good pace, consistently producing, taking pride in your work, and really, for lack of better words, just not being lazy. So, if you take initiative, can anticipate what's next, if you have a positive attitude, are reliable, can problem solve, and if you have a good work ethic, you are really going to stand out amongst everyone else, and you're probably going to be one of the most valuable apprentices on your job. Make sure that you check the links in the video description for more things from me that may be of value to you. And if you're interested to see how the IBEW scores apprentice electricians on the job site, I'll have a link to that at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.